All right, get out your homework.
Oh, man.
Magic Dragons.
Bro, that one easily cut.
You had homework? Oh yeah, it was home division.
All right, Jenna, close the door for me.
I didn't do
Hey, big picture.
Oh, we stopped.
Most of you already know how to do the stuff that we did on Friday. Some of you don't, right? Today's a chapter review, so it needs to be on your resource card with an example. You can't remember how to change a fraction to a decimal or a decimal to a fraction. It's got to be on a resource card. Do not miss simple questions on the test because you showed up without a resource card and you can't remember. What do you do? All right. Big question is we didn't get to do too many examples of repeating decimals, changing a repeating decimal to a fraction, right? I got to one example and we kind of, the bell rang, we called it quits. So here's what I'll do for you. We'll make that an extra credit problem on the test. So if you want to ignore, like those are the things I don't want to pay attention to, then you can ignore, now listen careful what I'm saying, you can ignore changing a repeating decimal to a fraction. What you can't ignore is how do you change a fraction to a decimal. You change a fraction to a decimal, you can get it either terminating or repeating. So that will be on the test, but I will put as an extra credit question how to change a repeating decimal to a fraction. Okay? Questions on the homework?
All right. Do it because that's too much division. I know I should have, but like I was really.
So how about I make this one worth double then?
No.
I had to do that in period one. I had 6 people not doing their homework over the weekend.
The only reason I
So
did do it.
usually when I see that many people, I make it worth double to cause some pain for the people that aren't doing their job, getting their homework done. All right, any specific questions?
I tried, but then like I gave up because I had to go.
Well, remember, I mean, you can always send me an email like, hey, give me a hint, tell me what to do, right?
I had to go to my break.
All right. You're going to make me do my typical speech of, well, you were in a car riding somewhere.
And that's where I got like what I did get done.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could have used the time in the car to do your homework.
And that's how far I got done.
Yes. As long as I have it by advisement. All right. And there's just not answers, there's work. Somebody who turns in homework during advisement is just answers. Well, I know what happened. Yes. Please. All right, here we go. I'm just going to call off not all of them, but a sorted number of them. Number 2 is 0.2 or 0.2. Number 4 is 0.1875. Number 6 is negative 0.05 with a repeating symbol over the 5, not the 0.5. Number 8, 0.4 repeating.
How did you get people?
9 goes into 4. Well, it doesn't. 9 goes into 40 4 times, 36. We got a 4.
I'm saying, how did you guys not get people?
Oh, got you. Number 10, please be nice to your fellow students, though. Number 10 is 0.6. Number 12 is, where's the answer to 12? Book. Let's see, 15 would go into 7. 6 times a point.
0.4.
Oh, 4 times, yeah. All right. So what are we going to claim? Oh, here are the answers. 0.46. The 6 is repeating, not the 4. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Number 14, 5.4. Number 16, negative 0.27. The 2 and the 7 repeat. 18, negative 4.875. You okay? Negative 4.875. All right, keep chit chat down, please, Jackson. 20, 2.1, the 1 is repeating. 22, 0.472, the 2 is repeating. 24 is a nightmare. You had to do this by hand. You probably gave up before you found out that it was repeating. So 3, 8, 4, 6, 1, 5, the whole thing repeats. I would never be that cool and put one of those on the test. All right. The opposite of this would be take a decimal, write it as a fraction. 26, 1 over 200. 28, negative 2 1/10. This one is one of the few times the book literally says, write it as a mixed number. Most time it just says simplify. Then it's your choice. But this one does say, write it as a mixed number. 30, negative 31 over 50. 32, 4 3/10. 34 is negative 10 and 1 over 1,000. 36, 10 3/10. 38, 67 over 80, 67 over 80. 40, 4/9. 42, 1 over 30. And 44 is 6. This is your classic. I think I showed you guys a long time ago. I said this. What is 0.9 repeating and the number 1? Your choices are less than, greater than, or equal.
Equal.
Turns out that 0.9 repeating and the number 1 are, they are equal.
Yeah, I knew it.
What's 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3? What is 1/3 as a decimal?
0.9 repeating.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
0.3 repeating.
I meant that.
Plus 0.3 repeating. Plus 0.3 repeating. That would be 0.9 repeating. It angers my mind too the first time I was shown this. And it literally caused me loss of sleep. How is that possible that 0.9 is the number 1? 0.9 repeating is the number 1. And turns out mathematically they are the same thing.
How did you know that?
I have shown this in class before.
He does. Well, that's a good stick. I knew that like 2 years ago. But I'm taking this super sticker off.
All right. Listen up. Here's our scheme and maneuver for today. Today is a review day for the chapter test. Why does this make my life hard? All right. Listen up. So today's a chapter review. So as you're collecting, tomorrow is the test. Let's talk about what we learned in this chapter. Somebody open up their book. I didn't click the button. Who's clicking the button?
I don't have the button.
All right. Section, listen please. Section 4.1 is on. Number lines. You will have to put some things on a number line. Remember on the quiz, it was fractions. Remember how to do that? There will be 1 or 2 questions on that. Section 4.2. Okay, here's what, I'm not going to give you a question on making equivalent fraction. I will ask you to add 2 fractions. Therefore, you have to get common denominators. Therefore, you need to make equivalent fractions. Okay, next section. Well, previous comments apply. I'm not going to have you say, what is the common denominator? I'm going to have you add 2 fractions or subtract 2 fractions. Therefore, that requires you to find the common denominator and make equivalent fractions. Next section.
Adding.
Previous question. I'm going to ask you to add fractions and subtract fractions. Positive and negative. Yes. Multiply fractions. Next section. Divide fractions. Copy, dot, flip. Remember, multiply fractions, multiply straight across. Cross reduce if you choose. If not, you got a lot of reducing to do at the end. Keep talking. And then converting the Friday's class. That's the whole test. Okay? As always, I give you a practice test, and I also give you the answers. Woe unto you that shows up with a resource card and you can't remember. Hey, Genevieve and others, are you going to listen now? Your behavior's fine, but just remember, Genevieve, can you multiply with mixed numbers? Can you divide with mixed numbers? Okay, can you add or subtract with mixed numbers? The answer is yes, but none of you know how to subtract with them when the second number is taken away more than the first number has. So my suggestion is anytime you have a mixed number, what are you going to do this time on this test?
Improper.
Make them into an improper fraction. I know it's painful for a few of you that look at an addition problem with mixed numbers like, well, that's silly. There's an easy way. Agree. I can still live with that, but the problem is you don't know how to borrow with subtraction. So therefore, don't try it, right? You will get it wrong like you guys, some of you did on the quiz. All right, any specific question is what's going to be on the test?
Oh,
Yes.
are there still going to be easy ones?
Easy ones, I would argue that most of the stuff will be easy. I don't need to put hard ones on it to ascertain whether or not you know the material or not. If you don't know how to multiply with mixed numbers, I can put 1 1/3 times 2 1/3, and you will get it wrong because you don't know what you're doing. Yes?
Is there going to be 1 plus 1 like in any way?
At some point, there will be a 1 + 1 problem, absolutely. Okay. All right. Hey, remember my rules for review. Remember, this is the review, by the way. We work so that you have a chance to see what you know and what you don't know. What you don't know, you study. You also have a chance to ask me questions on the stuff you don't know. We work by ourselves so we can get a good feel of what the test's going to be like tomorrow because we're working by ourselves. And then absolutely 100%, especially for the things you're getting wrong, put those on the resource card, right? The practice test is very similar to the real test. So, any questions on what we're doing today? Hey, a few of you did really poorly on the quiz. You failed it, right? The test or quizzes are only worth 20%. Tests are worth 65%. Did I say that right? Quizzes are 20%. Tests are 65%. So even if you failed the quiz, show me that you can get a B or an A on the test, and you'll see that the quiz had a very little effect on your grade, right? If you failed the quiz and you failed the test, shame on you. You've let all that time go by. You haven't seen me for tutoring. I've seen no one in this class for tutoring. No one's come to tutoring. Maybe no one needs to, right? But you've also not used that time wisely for those of you that did poorly on the quiz, right? Oh, I'm lying. There has been one person that came to tutoring. All right. That person was like, I don't know how to do this. Show me. I'm like, okay, I'll show you. Questions? All right, Landon, pass that out. And everybody get started. The answers are coming by soon. No calculators, but you may use a resource card and a multiplication table on the test. No calculator. You can use a calculator today if you want to check your work. Please be careful with the copied out flip ones. Remember, you can't cross reduce until you do copied out flip. If you cross reduce before you copied out flip, you've done it wrong. What's up, Gracie? Sure. Abby, you feeling confident? Okay. So what are we going to do to make us feel confident? Practice test. When you do your resource card, just make some good notes. Hey, don't forget. You can pass this test. Take confidence. What do you not feel confident on? What do you feel confident on? You can add fractions? You can subtract fractions? You can make common denominators? I know you can because I've seen you do it. So I would absolutely have a multiplication table. Absolutely possible. In front of your face. Right. Even if you don't think you need one, have one. Just check your work. Yeah. Let's make this into a fraction. Make it like 8/1. So is it true or false?
Very good.
So
I did
8/1
do 13.
multiply by cross. And get that? Yes or no? So that's
I'm
right.
just kidding.
Yes or no? Okay. And I want you to look at the board and tell me what it says. What page number? But yes, you were correct on this. That one is a false. I know. Make sure you look at the right page.
Wait, what?
I know this is confusing because I call it the Chapter 4 review, and 139 it's called chapter test, and it's a review.
Like,
You got them all wrong, right?
I'm so confident on the test. I don't need a review. I don't need.
I am so confident that you will not get 100. I am
Yeah.
willing to bet a chapter's worth of homework with you,
Whoa.
meaning that you would not have homework for the entire chapter if you get 100.
That's like 2 weeks.
Right?
Like,
Was that for the
100. Yes. No.
I'd probably get like on the.
I'm only doing it for Landon because he's,
Landon?
well, I would use better words than show off, but he shows too much self-confidence at times. Self-confidence is good, but I always go back to, are you confident? Are you clueless? Or are you confident that you'll make a mistake? And so, you know, even those that are confident are probably not confident that they're going to get 100 on a, especially a test with fractions. Genevieve.
If I find a way to do negative points, do I get to skip out?
No, you better not have negative points. Yes.
Next question.
Go ahead. Ask.
Not for the homework, but
Ask.
okay. So on number 3, it's 12 divided by -13. Would you be okay with me turning both of those into a fraction?
You have to.
That way?
You have to.
Don't you see 12 over 30?
You technically can divide that out.
You can.
Oh,
Just do a copy dot flip and you're
12 to 5. Oh, yeah. But why 13?
copy dot flip. Now get out a piece of paper and get to work.
No, I understand now. No, I'm so confident I'll get an
Oh, no. You don't have the option of not doing this. You do have the option of wanting to make a bet with me, but you don't have an option of not doing the work. All right, e-learners, rather than have you just sit here and listen to us do a review quietly, I'm going to stop the video right here. If you have any specific questions, send me an email. Your test will get posted. I want to say 9:30 is when the test will show up, so you guys will be able to see it then. Don't forget to attach a clean picture, meaning like one that I can see.
I found this in my desk.
Thank you. Put a +1 on your name on the board.